Welcome to the CMSA Showcase, a podcast highlighting the amazing events put on by clubs in the Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first ever episode of a brand new podcast called the CMSA Showcase. This podcast will highlight some of the amazing CMSA events and the clubs that put them on. My name is Chrissy Riley, and you may recognize me as the host of the Balloon Killers podcast. And if you haven't been to that podcast, go over, find it, listen to it. With me is my podcasting co-host in crime, Nic Chapman.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us about you for people who may not know about your work with CMSA?
Sure. I work for CMSA. I'm the club events director. So I'm the person that reaches out to the clubs ahead of their shoots and touches base. The clubs obviously run their shoots the way they want to, but I want to make sure the software is set up to help them the best it can, and that I'm going to be able to process their results and update points for all of our points chasers. And I also help clubs with payout questions or I don't know, any other outside assistance I guess they need. But I love my job. I'm available on call during the weekends to help the clubs produce their shoots, which is a new function for CMSA. And I love it because in the past, the clubs are doing all the work on the weekend and the office is closed. So I love the 5-minute calls. I love the 30-second calls. How do I do this? Okay, thanks, bye. Like, that's what I love.
And I might add, she's really good at her job. She's failed us out.
Thank you, yeah.
I was going to say, from the perspective of a club secretary, you save us. Mm-hmm. You save our behinds.
I've been there.
So with us on the episode today, we have the Iowa CMSA Club. Gentlemen, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll start. I'm Jamie Travis, and I've been on the board with Iowa CMSA as the treasurer for the last 4 years.
My name's Adam Ross. I'm a board member with Iowa CMSA. I think I'm on my 7th year that I've been serving here with Iowa CMSA on the board. My wife and I ran the club in the beginning for about the first 4 or 5 years I was on the board, took a break. We have a really great board now, and I think this is my 7th term that I've been on here.
All right, I am Nic Hahn. I am the president of Iowa CMSA. I've been on the board for 4 years. The first year I was just kind of the grunt worker, and I thought that's where I like to be, but that's not where they wanted me, apparently.
He does a fantastic job as president.
So which area of Iowa does your club serve, and how many members do you have?
So we basically are Southern Iowa. There's some really good clubs, a good club in Northern Iowa, and then a good club in Eastern Iowa. And we basically, other than we get north as far as Iowa Falls, but other than that, we're Southern Iowa. We have shoots in Creston in August. We have a shoot in Iowa Falls. Our state championship is always in Iowa Falls in June. And then we have the state fair in Des Moines in August. And then our shoot is also in August. And then our regional shoot is in Cedar Rapids in August. And then we have our awards banquet in November. We also have a series in March to start off the year, every year in Cedar Rapids as well. We have a great facility in Cedar Rapids where we can shoot no matter the weather. And so we're basically the southern part of Iowa, I would say.
There's 3 clubs in Iowa, and they really do a great job of just supporting each other all the way around, which makes it so unique. That's what helps our numbers, I think, a lot at all of our events, too.
Yeah.
Is there's 3 clubs, but it's not like there's a rivalry between any of us. So we have just as many people from the eastern half of our state come over and help us with our shoot as we do the northern half of our state. And they get into Minnesota a lot on the far northern half of it. But there's 3 clubs, and you really can't tell the difference when we're running a big event. When we're all together, I mean, all 3 clubs will pitch in and work. Nic started on the east. I think you're a board member for Eastern Iowa before you're a board member at Iowa CMSA. So Nic actually lives on the far eastern half of our state, and he's the president of the Iowa CMSA Club.
And I feel all the clubs work well together. Like the Eastern Iowa Club, they have kind of ventured out and they got some shoots a little bit further west in Iowa than they used to. And it all works well. Everybody kind of goes back and forth and it gets along.
That's good to hear. And I think that that's something that a lot of clubs in the same state could definitely learn from. What are some of the biggest events of the year for you? You just listed off a lot there, Jamie, but what are some of the biggest for you and what makes those events so successful?
Sure. So our biggest event is here at my house where we're at tonight. We had this last year was the biggest one we had ever had. And Dee was here. We're so thrilled to have everyone from all over the country here. But we had 162 in the main match and 14 Wranglers, so 186 total both days.
The Travis Quarter Horse
shoot. And we have our Futurity and Derby on Saturday night. And I don't know, maybe you can. I really don't know why they come to my house to shoot. To be honest with you,
it's all the
middle of nowhere.
It's the hospitality. I'll jump in and help too. So you go to a lot of clubs in the country, and I feel like the biggest hurdle is finding enough people that, you get a club that you're going to put on 25 or 30 people to shoot, maybe 2 people, maybe a couple and one other person can logistically run an event of that size. And as soon as you get bigger and you get to a 50-person club, 2 people can't do the work for it anymore. So now you need 4 or 5 people to work, and it just continues to stack up and get bigger and bigger. We're blessed with Iowa CMSA. We have a really, really great board, and we have a couple of really humongous families that support us. The Travis family is one of them through and through. I mean, we have a lot of help, which makes it so when you show up, you don't have to do a lot of work if you're here to shoot and you're from out of town. If you want to come and run one of our events, we can put on 200 people like we do at the Travis shoot. I mean, there's not a lot of clubs that successfully pull off. It's a whole demon running 2 arenas, and they do it here. You guys have a really great setup at Jamie's house, and then right up the road, you get to walk across the cornfield or bean field, depending on the year. The reason it's the biggest event that Iowa CMSA puts on is because of the hospitality of the family that does it here. That's just the bottom line. The reason everybody says they want to keep coming back, we have a lot of highlights here. I mean, we have the Travis Quarter Horses that's from right here in the center where we're shooting. We all got on Travis hats for the night because we're all supporters of them, okay? But they have their Futurity and their Derby for just the horses that are here. Everybody that supports Travis Quarter Horses, it has a reason to come to this event. If you're not with Travis Quarter Horses and you've seen how they've done in our sport right now, you want to figure out what it's all about. So the hospitality of Jamie and Bruce and both of your other brothers that you get put on here, the reason it's our biggest event is because you get treated really, really well when you come here.
The treatment is from the wives. To be honest with you, the wives take care of all that stuff and make sure everybody's fed well. And we went through. We bought an ice cream maker actually this year, and we went through 1,400 ice cream servings this year. So and that's really fun. It's just fun. My dad told me years and years ago when he would have events at his house, he'd say, people come for the experience, and if the parents are having fun, the kids will have fun. Just give them a good experience, And my dad really makes sure that happens, and so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful people come here. We try to keep the cost low because a lot of people travel a long ways to be here. We don't do payouts here. It's a buckle shoot. And we just want people to come and enjoy themselves and hang out with their friends. And the big thing about this shoot being a big shoot and running well is just like Adam said, it's the people that step up. I was traveling home from Eastern Iowa the week before our shoot, or maybe 2 weeks. But anyway, I thought, I'm just going to start making notes on my phone of jobs that need done, and I'm going to assign those to committees, and I'll reach out to people and say, hey, would you serve on this committee? This is what you're responsible for. And I sent probably 30 text messages out, and everyone was like, yeah, just put me wherever you need me. I'm happy to help. And so, we had it organized, and it went really well, but it's the people that stepped up. And, sometimes in Iowa, when we do a belt change, it's so cool. In fact, I took a picture a while back because there might be 30 to 40 people in the arena picking up balloons, changing belts, setting stages, tractor driver. And people just love to be asked to be part of something like that. And then they take ownership in it. And they say, this is my club, I'm in charge of this, or I help with this, and it just makes it fun for everybody when that's the mentality. And I think that's when it comes down to what helps us be successful.
When it's
And I think Jamie did a really good job at their shoot. He didn't, everybody from the Iowa club and locally helped, but he also reached out to some of his friends from further away, and nobody turns you down. If you ask people that are coming to the shoots, that they are more than willing to help you any way that they can, because they all want to be a part of everything.
For sure.
Indeed, from the perspective of the CMSA, a CMSA director and someone who also attends this shoot, what do you think makes this shoot so successful? Why do you love going to it?
All I've heard about is the hospitality. And when I saw the weather was going to be cool, I thought, man, I can't pass this up. I'm in the truck, I'm going. It was neat because people were driving around with the water truck. I got stopped several times. Do you need water for your horses? Do you need anything? Did you get ice cream yet? There's food left over in here. Just everyone's checking on each other. There's quite a ways to ride between the two arenas, and people would wait and watch their friends run and ride together to the other arena. Like the camaraderie all the way around. But from putting on shoots, we always have people reach out and ask, what can we help with? They let you help in Iowa. It's great. You get assignments, and I think people feel like they're a part of it because you're so organized. It's nice.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here and appreciate everything you did to help that office run smoothly. It went great.
Yeah. So with an event like that, I can hear there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. There's a lot of things happening. But what are some of the most important priorities that you have at those events?
I think Dee just touched on it, in my opinion. It's the organization. It's planning ahead of time, just being organized and making sure that you're ready to roll when it happens. We have volunteers that stand at the gate, and they're kind about it, but they're helping the lower level shooters. We actually, in Iowa, we start with the level 2s, and then we go to level 6s, and then we finish with the level 1s. And so that helps too, because level 2s know they need to be up at the gate ready to go. And when you're running a big shoot, that's so key that you have people ready to go in. We have an in gate and an out gate with a baffle. And when they're coming in, the next one, when one's going out, the next one's coming in. And so we have people helping with that, but just being organized as we can be to make sure that all runs smoothly. We ran through the 186 riders in 2 arenas, and we were done that day. I think we started at 9. I think we were done by 5, something like that.
And here's the truth of it. He's underselling us. So Jamie, the biggest thing, and we see this all the time in clubs all over the country, you get just a couple key people doing work. And being a match director for a shoot is a huge undertaking, especially the more people you have show up for your shoot, the bigger the undertaking becomes. So if you're the only guy that the club is looking to every single time, it's really easy to get overwhelmed and say, man, I don't shoot with a darn every time that I'm the match director. Yeah. So in our club, we try to only let everybody on the board take responsibility for 1 shoot a year. So we pass that responsibility around, and then we help each other with it. Jamie's underselling the fact that he was the match director for this event at his house. He's responsible for the fraternity. He's responsible for the derby. And the hospitality of everything that goes with putting people at his house. The thing that Jamie does really, really good on our board, and the thing that he's underselling on, is when he says he takes notes and assigns people to a committee, he understands that one person can't do the whole thing. So I'm going to put a team in charge of these 4 or 5 ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be responsible for the office, and I'm going to leave them alone. I don't need to go over there and breathe down their necks and tell them you have to do this, 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 and this. He found some key people that were really, really good at one area. So Nic has a great crew. And I mean, one of the best crews in the country at running the balloons. And we have our own, we're fortunate enough that we have our own balloon machines, and we've got a lot of the kinks worked out on them now, and it runs really, really well. So Nic has a set of guys that he knows is going to help him run the balloon machines. Now it's off the match director's plate. It's Nic's responsibility. If you have something with it, go see Nic. He puts a whole bunch of ladies in charge of the office that knew how to get it done, and there wasn't any trouble with it. He put key people in the spots where they needed to do, and then moved on about his job and kept the ball rolling forward. He did a really good job with that, and that's one of the big key things that keeps a match of that size going. Is you can't be everywhere all the time. We're just fortunate enough that we have enough help to pull it off.
100%. Megan mentioned to me when we were in Tennessee and doing the fraternity and the derby, which I love. That's one of my favorite shoots of the year. But she said, I think you had more time on your hands at our shoot when we were here, you know? And I said, yeah, it's because all my friends were doing all the work.
Yeah.
So you're delegating and you're dividing and conquering, basically.
Yeah, and I think Adam touched on a good point too. Once you delegate, even if they might do something the way that you don't want it done, but you just have to roll with it. You can't.
There's more than one way to get a job done.
Yeah, you can't major on the minors if they decide to set a stage a little different than what you would do it.
The proof is in the pudding, like you said, Adam. You go to shoots and people don't shoot well at their own shoots. How did you shoot at that shoot, Jamie? Did you do your final dance in your arena?
I did.
With
so I don't have that excuse.
Wife?
Yeah, I did. One of the best days of my life. It was so much fun, and yeah, I don't have that excuse. And before I moved up to a 6, every shoot we'd go to, Megan would say, "Okay, this is the day. This is the day." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make this happen." But you know what? God knew that it was going to be more special here at my place, dancing with my wife in front of all my family and friends, and it was a very special night.
That's the lesson. He did such a good job delegating all the tasks out. The shoot just ran smooth as silk. He did all his work the week before, so when it came time to shoot, he became a level 6.
Everybody else won.
I think you just won. You did good.
Yeah, thank you. Those are very kind.
You did really good.
Thanks, buddy. Although you did move up to a 6 before I did.
I did. And I worked very hard at that.
You did.
So give us a timeline of what it takes. Like, when are you starting the planning for, when is the next shoot, the next Travis Court Horse shoot? Is it May, June?
No, it's August. First weekend in August every year. And
when do you start that planning process, and what do you do first?
Yeah, so I think we talk, my brother and my dad and I and the family, we talk, of course, all the time, but we talk after the shoot is over about what went well, what we could do better on, things like that, and kind of just debrief, a little bit. But so it starts, right after it's over. But then, prizes, started getting those ordered early so that we can advertise what we're doing. And my daughter Maddie does a phenomenal job with helping us with all that and our social media and things like that. But I would say by April, we're working on everything that needs to be done and ready to go for our shoot in August.
As far as a club standpoint goes from it, we are getting ready. So just a couple weeks after we do World, we have our club's kind of unique on it. Every year we do our awards banquet. We've had it a couple years where we are the week or 2 weeks before World, but we always try to finish it on the season that we're on, so you don't have to wait till the spring to come back again and say, "Oh man, how did everybody do for last year?" So we already have our awards banquet on the books. We put it on the books with the existing board that we have here, and they made all the plans for it. So on our club, if we're talking about how the club runs, Iowa CMSA, we have a 2-year term for everybody. Half of our board members, we have 8 people on our board. Half of them come off every year. So we have 4 people up for re-election every single year. That happens at our banquet shoot. So that's really the time where we sit down with a new board of 8 and we divvy out that who's going to be the match director for these however many events we have, 6, 7, 8 events, whatever we have. And that's when the planning really starts as far as the club starts. There's a few of them that we know we're going to need the dates on now. So we go to a college facility in Cedar Rapids, and we already have those dates locked in, this year for what we're going to do next year. So the new board is handcuffed by that just a little bit to keep the event dates. But as far as the actual planning goes for event, we sit down and we spend an hour or an hour and a half the first night with whoever the new board members are going to be, whoever's elected in on it, and we assign out who's going to get the jobs for it, who needs help with what parts of it. So in the end of October, when we do our awards banquet, we kind of pass out all the responsibilities for all of the shoots that we have for the following year. And then it's just like Jamie said when he was match directing. Once it's their responsibility, it's there. So we don't need to let everybody breathe down their neck. Let them do it how they want. And we're here to support them. We try not to be negative and
Chapman,
run with what they want.
He was new on the board this year, and he took over the Travis Auto shoot in March,
which is the first event.
And he did a phenomenal job. He asked questions and he had it all set up, and it ran very smoothly. But I know he put in a lot of work on that. So,
and from my knowledge, and you guys as well, but like the first shoot you ever put on is extremely nerve-wracking, and like the thing for anybody to take away from that is take notes so that you know what you want to change going forward. Sometimes even after you've done some, you've already figured out things you wish you would have changed for this year before that shoot even gets there to put in your notes for the following year. It's
and ask for help. There's somebody around you, unless you guys are starting a brand new club and you're looking for some advice on how to be more successful. Talk to whoever ran the last event for people in your area. What did you like about it? What really was awesome about that event? What was your favorite thing about it? And try to do more of that. Hey, and then I don't ever try to ask for people to complain because it's so easy to complain about everybody else's work. But you hear something that was bad, try to make it a little better for the next time and just keep trying to get better. Ask for help. So many people in our sport, everybody on your podcast, Chrissy, says their favorite thing about mounted shooting is the people. Mm-hmm. The favorite thing about coming to Travis Quarter Horseshoe is the hospitality, the people that you get to deal with. There's a lot of people that are intimidated by, oh, that's Jamie Travis. He's men's level 6. We're at his house. I'm not going to go up there and tell him that I got a tire leak. It's anything that you could be scared of. Just ask people to help you. And we've been really, really, really successful giving people ownership, letting them help because they want to. And I think that's due to a lot of the people of mounted shooting. Let them help. They want to. Give them a direction.
Yeah. What recently, I think it's been a year, maybe 2 years, you got the balloon machines. Was that a hard decision to go away from finding balloon help, or Nick, tell us about that?
Well, yes and no. So after you have a few shoots where you try to explain to the people how many people they need to bring to help you because of the size and whatever, and they say they got it, and they show up with maybe not quite that many kids.
Yeah.
And it gets to be a long day. I mean, the bigger shoots get to be extremely hard on the number of kids that people typically bring. One of the final straws, we had 1 year where we had kind of a rough spell. The one shoot, somebody backed out a couple weeks before, made it pretty tough for us to find somebody. And that same year at one of our shoots, like all the kids left like halfway through the day. Luckily for us, the leaders of that group stayed and helped the best that they could do. And lucky for us, we had great people there that chipped in and helped set balloons the rest of the day. I know when us as a board made the decision to go to the balloon machines, I know that not everybody was on board with us with that decision. I think if you ask people today, there multiple of them that I know were not in favor of it now say that's the best thing we've done.
Yeah.
It's helped keep our shoots smooth, and they've worked well for us.
Well, the only reason they work well is because of this guy right here, Nick. Nick and his buddy Mike, and especially Nick, he keeps those balloon machines running in perfect order and hauls them to all of our shoots. But also financially, for our club, it's been very beneficial. He's been able to travel some with them, and we try to make it lucrative for him to do that. But it's been so nice I think it brings our numbers up because people know we're going to get through a lot of shooters in a quick period of time. They work well because Nick's got them dialed in.
It takes a lot of stress off the match director too. The hardest part about it is I'm from Southwest Iowa and we're having a shoot in Cedar Rapids. How am I supposed to find 10 kids or 15 kids that are going to set balloons that I know I can count on, and we're going to have 200 people show up? I mean, that is the hardest part about it. Yeah. I mean, the downfall, not every club is going to be of the size that they can. The balloon machines aren't readily available for every single club. So it isn't a one-size-fit-all, fix for every single club. You have to be going in the direction that you guys can financially, cover them. It's a big expense. Our club suffered through getting kids and getting through 120, 130 people at a shoot and having kids set them. And, we had a lot of our own kids bail them out a bunch of times. Yeah. We had wranglers out there. We were paying and feeding ice cream to as many people as we could just to try to keep the event going. So we suffered through it for a long time before it just finally made sense for us financially as a board, as a club, that, hey, we got somebody like Nick that, I think you could take it a few different ways. We decided to put one person in charge of them so that when it's time for the cover to come off this machine and somebody's got to start wrenching on them, we need one person to become an expert on it. The only way you learn is get lit on fire and figure it out. And Mick luckily got thrown into the fire there, and now he's our guy. He's the one that fixes them, and it is
running them was kind of like running a match for your first time. It gets you a little bit, but now that I've done it enough, once in a while you'll still find a machine that'll irritate you slightly, but I've learned how to deal with it. It's no different than being a match director. You got to figure out how to deal with it and move through your day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and he brings his entire family. They help fill balloon belts. They work on machines with him. We're so thankful for Nick and his family. Yeah, for sure.
Mounted shooting definitely is a family affair, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about debriefing, how you debrief after the shoot. So what mistakes have you made along the way, and what have you learned from those mistakes that might be helpful for other people?
When it comes down for me anyway, it's always about communications, because we talked about this is a people sport. You're dealing with people, and it's me not communicating my expectation well, and then somebody's blindsided by something I expected them to do that didn't get done, or communicating in a negative way about other people. That's easy to do when you're frustrated and someone's upset you, and not go to the solution maker and go to other people, go to Facebook, whatever. Yeah. I've screwed up enough times that I'm trying to do it more correctly now, and that is, if you have an issue with somebody, just go talk to them about it, and whatever it may be, you can talk through it if you're reasonable about it. But it all comes down to the mistakes that generally happen are a mistake with miscommunication, at least what I've seen.
Personality clashes, another thing we've really gone through. I mean, we have a great board. It's the best one that I've served on that we've had here. No offense to anybody in the future or the past that's been on there, but my biggest mistake I've had is when my emotions get in the middle of it. That if I start off every situation by thinking that I'm here to serve first, everything goes better following it. As soon as you get an I mentality, as soon as I think, I would have done this if so-and-so would have came through, I could have won. As soon as you take I out of the mix, everything that I've dealt with problem-wise seems to just go away. As soon as I realize that it's us, it's a we, it's a whole, it's the board, it's gotten easier. And everybody on our board it's contagious. Everybody on the board gets on the same train, that we're not here to complain about somebody else's work. We're here to serve. And as soon as, and it hasn't always been like that. We've had our ups and we've had our downs, and we've had a lot of mistakes that were made over hurt feelings and people being upset. Mm-hmm. And we've done a really, really good job for the last 3 years that I've been on the board of having a service mindset, having the ability to be here for the many and not for yourself. And
it starts from the top too. I mean, with Nick and the balloon machines, he is working. If he's not on his horse, he's working. And when your president's out there working all the time, I mean, his wife Tara warms his horse up for him. I tease him about that all the time. But I mean, he is giving the example, and it's starting from the top of, hey, this is how we do things around here. So if something needs done, I'm going to take care of it.
And when you see everybody else get up on the stands and go walking out there to pick up balloon pieces or go help doing something, everybody besides them gets up the same way. Lead from the front.
And for anybody else, like, instead of making a decision on your own, if you are unsure, like for us, we have a tremendous board. If you just message somebody, find them, talk to them, they help give you their opinion and work through it. And if it's nothing major, just forget about it. Act like it never happened.
Well, and the other thing that's kind of unique about our board is we have one meeting in person per year. We do, and we don't do Zoom calls. We have a GroupMe app. Everything we do, if we have to vote on something, we can set up a vote on there. But everything we do is through that GroupMe app, and it works great. We've communicated really well on there.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So you are our very first club for the CMSA Showcase podcast. What is the final piece of advice that you would give to other clubs trying to organize successful events and be as successful as you are? You're obviously a very well-established club at this point.
Well, I will give my 2 cents first, I guess. You just got to remember that you are there to have fun, and you want everybody else that is there to have fun as well. That is number one to me.
That's great advice.
We were just talking about that today, weren't we?
Yeah.
So I guess I would say the same thing I've been saying the last few times. Lead from the front. Be there to serve everybody else, and they'll all fall in. Ask somebody to help you, they'll do it. Get up and help, and other people will help you because you're doing it.
Well, and we've talked about this with other boards, and I'm on too recently, finding doers, there's people that don't want to do, and finding doers to head up people, other doers, that's huge. And we all know, and there's some people that can't help for whatever reason, they got little kids or whatever, but you find a group of doers, and I mean, what they can accomplish is just unstoppable. They can put on amazing shoots and just help one another, and there's a ton of them out there in this sport. There's a lot of people that want to jump in and help, and I think that's key.
That's some sage advice from some very experienced club members and shooters and board members. So thank you so much for sharing all of your sage advice with us. Thank you for being the very first club on the CMSA Showcase podcast. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You can promote your business on the CMSA Showcase podcast while supporting a good cause. Send me an email at balloonkillers@gmail.com. That's balloonkillers, all one word, @gmail.com for more information.